Welcome back. I am willing to admit that a lot of the notions that I present as far as positive masculinity and manhood are not easily agreeable sentiments. I will agree to that, okay? I agree that they require a lot of self control, a lot of restraint. But in each and every one of the principles that I espouse, I do it because it's for the betterment of individuals who put those sentiments into practice. They're traditional, yes, I understand, but they work. And so that's the reason why I continue to focus on those particular set of principles and guidelines because they work. And the video that we're about to get into for this particular segment highlights the reason why I continue to focus on positive masculinity. I continue to focus on accountability, discipline, and determination. This next video may be the most shocking and the most telling reason why I encourage men to continue to work at becoming the best version of themselves. And I know that you hear that from a lot of content creators, but especially do I focus on it because if you put yourself in your life in a position where you can focus on being positive, then a lot of the situations that you could otherwise find yourself in, you can avoid these negative situations. Situations that causes a person to act out of survival instead of out of positivity. Let's get into the video and see what I mean, okay?
You hurt me, so guess what? Now you're trapped with me. Not only do you hate me, but now you stuck with me. Now you stuck with me, bitch. Worst nightmare. I would be your worst motherfucker. I would be your worst nightmare. Child support? Oh, I need all that. Just be at the hospital. Be ready to swab. Be ready to swab your mouth. Be ready to swab your motherfucker. That's what you do. Cause I need all mine. Cause I need all mine. Cause I need all mine. Bitch, me. I hurt you. I hurt you. I was never faithful to you. I played under you. Not only did I play under you, I got what I wanted. Not only did I get what I want, his real daddy was in prison taking care of him. Not only that, you should have knew about trying to turn a hoe into a housewife. That was your fault, baby boy. That was your fault because you thought it was real L's. You were laugh. I could never take you serious. Never. Never. Not since the truth out there. I don't give a fuck. Cause his daddy finna get out. I don't give a But guess what? Not only did you do that, but around. You still was around. Every night. What Kai at? What Kai doing? Playing daddy. Fuck. What I wanted. Thank you for being there. But his daddy finna get out. But just be ready to swab your mouth when I have my baby. Just be ready to swab your mouth when I have my baby. Cause guess what?
Pardon me for pausing there. First of all, I would like to say that I think congratulations is in order for me learning a new skill, how to censor out profanity. Because as you saw, there's quite a bit of profanity in this particular video. So that skill is going to be handy in the future, I think. So we learned about it. So let's get into the video. My goodness, we have quite a bit to unpack, don't we? From both the mother side and the father side, we're going to see what we can learn from their example. And in this case, it would be an example of what not to do, how not to handle certain situations. So let's start with the first thing. Evidently, the relationship has become one that cannot be sustained and they've gone their separate ways. But in the process, these two consenting adults have produced a child. So you see from the video that the mother is pregnant while she's holding her son. She is continuing to berate this man, evidently, because he has decided not to be a part of the relationship anymore. So the first thing you hear her mention, as I see in my notes, is child support. So she is, in effect, telling this gentleman that for at least 18 years of his life, he's going to be tied to her. And sad to say, he's going to be tied to this foolishness. But here again is one of the reasons why. And yes, I'm going to go into it because it's necessary. Here is one of the main reasons why I insist that individuals wait until they're married in order to produce children. Wait until you're married. Because if you are focused on getting to know this individual, their strengths, their weaknesses, who they really are, then you can avoid situations like this. Now, who is to blame? Both of them. Both of them are to blame. The mother, who you see in the video, and the father of her child. Both fathers, actually, they're both to blame. Because here's the thing. Even if the woman is a willing partner, even if she consents to have relations with a man, I would say that the man, in this particular instance, needs to think about what he's doing, because in the long run, he is the individual that's going to be responsible for the care of their child, whether he's present or not. And that's why she brought up child support. That's why she brought it up. So from 0 to 18, we have seen from statistics that have been given to us by the U.S. Census that a person spends on average $250,000 on a child. And so that's why I say you have to be intentional with what you do, because if you don't have that kind of money, those kind of resources to invest, why are we involved in a sexual relationship with anyone? And more so, why are we involved in a sexual relationship with someone that is not our spouse? This is a prime example of what I mean. Please pay attention. The next thing, there is a clear level of manipulation that's going on here. A clear level of manipulation. Her son that she's holding in the video, evidently his father is in prison, soon to be released. But in the meantime, it would appear that she used another gentleman to take care of her needs and the needs of her child. Now, even though that's clear manipulation, we should take into account that whoever this man was, whoever this gentleman, he entered into this situation willingly. And why do we say willingly? Because of her own testament. He came in, and his intent was to provide and protect the child and his mother, so much so that he even produced another child with this woman. So once again, there's accountability on both sides. But the amount of manipulation that's involved in this situation from the mother's standpoint is almost disgusting. And I say it's disgusting because what you are basically doing is you're bringing children into an environment that's later on going to cause them difficulties in life. There are traumas that these children are going to have to undergo because of the situation and the environment that she's bringing them into. You have one father that does not want to be involved with the mother anymore, and then you have one father that has been incarcerated. And so in either situation, we're bringing children into the world with individuals who on face value may not be a good link for a father. They may not be geared toward being a father. They may not be geared toward being a husband. So once again, why are we producing children with these individuals? Why are we doing that? The blame is on both sides. And then the next thing, out of all of the things that could be mentioned in the video, out of all the things that I had a difficulty with, this is the most egregious. She referred to herself when she made the statement, "You can't turn into a housewife." Did you hear that? Did you hear the way she referred to herself? Is this a demonstration of the kind of self-respect that she has, the kind of self-esteem, how she views herself? Now, if you would use that particular term in describing yourself, then that means clearly, and I mean no disrespect, you need to get some help. You need to be sitting on someone's couch right now trying to understand how you could demean yourself on a public platform in this way. Now, there are a lot of individuals who will agree. There are a lot of individuals who will call them these things anyway. But in my perspective, if you can refer to yourself in a derogatory term, then it demonstrates to me that you don't think much of yourself. You can't. And so if you don't think much of yourself and your livelihood and your future, then I question whether or not you have the ability to do that for your children. And from the video, we can see that in just a little while, she's going to have 2 children that she's going to be responsible for. Is she going to take the time to make sure that these children grow up to be balanced and productive adults when she herself evidently is having problems being that? That's something to think about, okay? And once again, this is the reason why I say you have to be intentional. You can't enter into these particular situations haphazardly. You can't enter into these situations and not have a plan. Please. We have to do better than this. Now, what's the next thing? It's a small thing, but as a parent myself, I noticed it. Did you notice all while she was going throughout the video, all while she was making herself known, making all of the statements that she made, her child, her son, was sitting there taking in all of it. All of the profanity, all of the mannerisms that his mother displayed, right? All of the anger. All those difficulties are going to present themselves later on in life. Because if she's doing it now, then there is no doubt in my mind that when that child grows up in that household, and it's a strong possibility that she's going to raise these 2 children as a single mother. The statistics are against her. 80% of the families in our community are led by single mothers. So if she's doing that now, can you think about what would happen as the child continues to grow up? Think about what would happen as the difficulties between the 2 fathers of her children starts to become greater and greater and greater. The anxieties and the frustrations that she has with the fathers is undoubtedly going to be taken out on the children. But one thing I noticed in particular, because I went off on a tangent just a couple of seconds ago, but one thing I noticed in particular is that the child was ready to go to sleep. Any parent can look at their child and tell that the child is tired and that the child is trying to go to sleep. But with all of the loud ruckus and all of the cursing and all of the sporadic movements that his mother is carrying on with, he cannot rest peacefully. So does that dictate to you that this is a mother who is concerned about the well-being of her child? I'll let you answer that. But it's clear to me that there are some difficulties that she has that she needs to work out outside of the men that's involved in her life. She needs to work these difficulties out, because if the eventuality of the situation is that she is a single mother, she needs to be prepared to handle that. This one was a difficult one. It really was. And I choose these particular videos because I'm not trying to paint single mothers in a bad light, but what I am trying to do is say that on both sides, both men and women, we need to be more conscious, more intentional about what we choose to do in regards to producing other human beings. I'm gonna say it again. Marry before you carry. Marry before you carry. This is nothing new. It's a practical step to protect your future. It's a practical step to protect the future of your children and the future of your spouse. Because when you introduce a child into this world, it should be your thought pattern that you want to introduce them into the best of circumstances, the best that you possibly can offer. Did this video look like the best of circumstances to you? Well, those have been my thoughts. As always, I appreciate you coming back and hearing me out. We are grateful for those who have remained as subscribers, and we hope that other individuals are finding the content and finding it something that they appreciate. Well, as always, be easy.